back to the original 3 OGs.
Let's do it.
Rob Lucy coming at you from Phoenix, Oregon. Excited to finally review Falcon and the Winter Soldier with my two good friends, longtime Geeking Out buddies, Rob Strotter and Eduardo, the editor, Gadea.
What up? Yeah, I mean, so the cold open I was thinking of originally was the Global Repatriation Council, the nice, friendly, like, oh, we're here to help the world, and then obviously, a lot of types of groups like that are not what they appear to be, and immediately you go to them on a military vehicle jumping out ready to raid some third world country like it goes down normally. And I think this is where you first see the new Cap's emotional issues. It's when he gets spit on and he yells, "Don't you know who I am?" And you can see for the first time that facade is starting to crack, or something starting to come through that we haven't seen yet. And then Zemo, you guys were already talking about him.
To be clear, it's Munich, Germany. It is not a third world country.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't even know.
But it's meant to be a slum. It's meant to be a rundown area, showing the again. And I think this is a great thing that they do with the GRC is showing this federal step in, but it's an international federal step in. It's a global initiative, much like the Avengers, and the way that they are manipulating the face on one end, and the way Walker just comes in just fucking heated. And again, Hoskins is just, Battlestar is just like, oh, hey bro, like he's the guy like standing next to the guy at the keg. That's just like, hey man, just let him drink, just let him get a drink, man. It's cool. It's not. This isn't worth it, man. Go on, when they spit in his face and he just like lets it sit there and then just goes there, you can just see the gears just grinding on him. He's like, I'm not Captain America, because he thinks he should be able to be like, you know who I am, and have that be his boom.
Wow. Well, I was thinking deeply about this, where after the blip, as they're referring it to, half the population of the universe, but on Earth, half of it's gone. And then you have these refugees that were cold, tired, or displaced people, or that were having a hard time at life. They're like, oh, there's a giant mansion I can move in, and now I have enough food, and there's work for me to do. For good or for bad, Thanos's vision actually came to fruition for quite a few of these people. And then when the blip is undone, this government GRC agency is like, hey guys, well, the original residents are back now. You got to go, and we'll help you, with that. And they're like, whoa, pump the brakes. Imagine like what you've done in high school doesn't last 5 years. So these are people's new lives, and now their lives are completely upended. And it's just kind of a different way to look at things. Everybody's trying to look at it in black and white, and there's only a couple people that are kind of seeing it from a gray area, which is not dissimilar to what we see in our politics today, currently, if you will. But I digress.
That's where I think Zemo being introduced comes in perfect, because he kind of embodies the gray area a little bit.
Right.
The other 2 and 2, Team Cap, Team Falcon, are both kind of very set in their ways. Falcon, I would say, is probably the least, the most flexible. Falcon and Bucky, to listen to the other side and stuff. But they're definitely there's a dichotomy between them, and Zemo's right in the middle. And later on, once they're all interacting, I think even here, after just watching Bucky and him talk, was just a prelude to how good chemistry all three of them, and all the great dialogue, all the snippy, snarky stuff and funny stuff, witty stuff. What'd you think about Zemo, Strutter?
I continue to enjoy Zemo. I think that he's unlikable by design. The banter that he has back and forth with Bucky is really played out. They really flesh him out. I'll be honest, I was not impressed with Zemo in Civil War. I thought it was a letdown of an ending. I think that their fight was good, but him, the whole, there's flecks of green in your eyes. You would never know. And I was like, I don't know about it. Even Black Panther just punks him out real quick, and it's all symbolic and it's good. And I like that they've revisited him and shown why he's a badass. Like show him just like, I smoke fools. I have a set of principles that if I get the opportunity to shoot a super soldier, I shoot a super soldier.
I think it goes back to what we said about this long form where there's multiple episodes, 6 hours, and not trying to condense, somebody that is as dynamic as Zemo into, 15 minutes worth of screen time, in a Marvel movie, and you get to understand him a little bit more. And I feel the same way. Visceral reaction the first time I seen him, but the more I'm watching him, not that I like him anymore because he's a terrible villain, but I'm like, oh, I appreciate it more.
Mm-hmm.
And then, what? Oh, were you gonna say something, Ed?
Well, I mean, like the thing about like I thought the escape was like nice and showed how smart he is and how like kind of Lex Luthor like he is. He can just everything's planned out for him. But
one of the things that I liked about the escape,
yeah.
I'm sorry. One of the things that I liked about the escape is that it actually reminded me of what we were talking about in The Mandalorian, with every episode being like an homage to a certain style. Like that was like a very like heist movie, like like Bucky explaining the situation pace by pace while we're watching it all happen and unfold very smoothly. And I think that Zemo did some great acting there because he's no lines, but he acts the shit out of everything. Like you feel his tension, like you feel him being like, "Ooh, I might get caught right here." And I think that he really delivers. And yeah, just the way that he walks in with the into the mechanic shop with the silhouette, like this episode and the next episode are just very artistically shot, and I really enjoyed that.
It was funny. It was like, you're rich? He's like, I'm a baron. Like with the old butler coming off the jet.
But that's where you're saying like the movie wouldn't work because you don't get that joke. You don't get the Marvin Gaye conversation and hearing Zemo admonish Marvin Gaye for capturing the Black experience in America, and like Falcon having to agree with him and then be pissed about it, but say and then get mad at Bucky. Like there's so much interplay between them that happens. I mean, there's a lot of details we could like hawk on, but they all do represent something different.
I think that Bucky is anachronistic, and they really make a point of that in the sense that he's stuck in the past. Like Bucky doesn't know who he is because he never has the ability to make the transition to the modern man the way that Cap does.
True.
He doesn't have friends the same way that Cap does because nobody trusts him. So he doesn't have the same ability to link into present day. And so I think that Marvin Gaye scene, besides being, again, one of those beautiful, you can tell there's a Black voice in the room, in the writing room scenes, it just being like, he's out of line, but he's right. Like there's just such realness in the way that it goes back and forth. But right there, Bucky says, I like music from the 1940s. And that's it right there. Like Bucky's still stuck in that past, and that's what he's comfortable with. And there's no way for him to get to the present day except for this, nice lady that he went on a date with. Not that he went on a date, he went to her work, and I mean, that's a real softball of a date.
I'm thinking she might be an agent, but that's for later down the road. And then we get to Mandapore. Bum, bum, bum. We are expanding the Marvel universe. Mandapore, and then
Madripoor.
Madripoor, which is Mandapore. It's used throughout the Marvel universe. It's a haven for criminals. And I think this episode, not only that, and Sharon Carter, badass. Love the way they used her. Glad they brought in another powerful female character. But just the different places they can go by adding this quote unquote pirate, principality in there.
Well, I want to note, Lucy's right. Madripoor showing up into the scrawl was a big thing. And this is one of those reasons why I actually didn't know this was going to happen. And this is one of the reasons why I hate watching the teasers. Because when that shit popped up, I was like,
yeah, I know.
Oh shit, that's fucking Madripoor. No one's here to care.
It made me think the Wolverine cameo that they have been like hinting at he was going to be Patch. That's the first thing
and
I thought.
exactly, and so that's I think the thing that really stood out was like the way that they had seeded the Quicksilver and WandaVision, and now like they're dropping in Madripoor, and like like Madripoor is an X-Men place. It is a Wolverine place, and it's special to me because Madripoor is when the Wolverine comic went separate and he went solo, and I was like, I fucking hate this.
No, I did too.
I hate Madripoor, so I hate Patches so much, man. But the fact that they like really turned it in, and I like the fact that Madripoor had a bridge. I never really thought about it being in an archipelago and just having, I just got access to it, right? But beautiful shots.
Yeah, and then they're like, "Oh, that's the uptown. We're going to Lowtown."
Yeah.
And it really, I'm thinking at the end of this series, they're going to drop a mutant in here somewhere. Somebody's making a mutant appearance, as far as like if not by the end of the next episode, but at the end of the series. I would be shocked if we don't see some more mutant references.
Well, and I think one of the beautiful things about Madripoor, specifically that bar scene, and again, like they just keep hitting it, like the color, the action, to like have Bucky do all of that fighting in that very confined space. Like, this isn't one of those big, they're not at the airport like Civil War, like this is boom, boom, boom. I gotta like take you down right here. And so it just really highlights, I didn't think about it until right now, but it really highlights the opposite style of Bucky's fighting and Falcon's fighting. Where Falcon, is that big, broad, all moving around, and Bucky's just like inside, like boom, boom, boom. And just cold face, and Zemo's style is just so on point. Obviously, what they put Falcon into as Smiling Tiger, I thought was the sharp thing, and I really look forward to that being cosplayed going forward. But the way that they did Zemo with like the little like tufts of fur coming down and like the purple, and I'm just like, man, this shit.
He gets the mask shortly after this all breaks through, because Sharon saves him with the sniper round. They bust out of there, and then the next scene is seeing the chemist.
Do you think Sharon saved them? I didn't think that they were in trouble. I thought that they got.
No, I think they could have. I agree with you. I think they could have definitely handled themselves. But why did she just snipe that?
So that's what I'm saying. Like, I think she has her own. I think Sharon has her. I think Carter has her own agenda. I think she's been on Madripoor. She has to survive. She just wants to go home. She lives in Hightown, so she's got money. She's doing something to stay up. But yeah, as soon as the shot happened, I was like, well, that's got to be Sharon, right? Like. Mm-hmm. And she put them into a very compromised position. That scene with them walking into Selby's parlor, though, with the cages and the red light and like the slow motion framing. Again, I just think this is one of the best like shot episodes that we've seen. Like, I thought that was like, dope.
Oh, it keeps getting better.
So then it's just basically looking for what's his name, Wilfred Nagel, who's the doctor. I looked him up. I thought he had something to do with the Weapon X project. Maybe he did, because they kind of cross Super Soldier and Weapon X at times. But when I looked it up, he was just basically from Red, White, and Black Captain America with the guy from the last episode, Elias?
Patriot?
Yeah. No, not Patriot.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Where's Captain America?
Truth.
There you go. Yep. Shipping container yards, an interesting scene. Lots of.
Hold on. Before we do that, so they get to the Golden Goose laboratory scene, and like they're going back and forth, and like someone's already come up with, we're getting a lot of exposition. We're getting a lot of information dropped in this episode, and like Homeboy's like all wild. And you might not like Zemo, but you have to respect him, man. He just kind of like, boom. Oh, did I just shoot him? So that can never happen? He can't make ever again? Oh, all right, guys, let's get out of here, right? Like, it's so fucking, such a great establishment of a villain.
No, totally agree.
Without making him good, without making him a Loki or Juggernaut joining the X-Men or White Queen joining the X-Men, like he's still, he can hang out. They've established a way that he can hang out with the good guys, but still be bad.
Well, and through the episode, and especially into the next episode, he finds ways to make himself indispensable. They escape the container scene, jump in the GTO, a little witty banter. You're not going to move your seat up, are you? Nope.
I will say they're prepping him to be Citizen V already. Otherwise, they would have made him a stereotypical villain. So, that's the Thunderbolts right there. And he's like you said, he's just enough to be able to hang around a bunch of good guys and seem legit, but then also be on his own agenda. And if he's working for the government with the Thunderbolts, it all kind of makes sense and it'll almost make him seem righteous.
All right, two things I want to. It's interesting because if they go Thunderbolts, then you're going back and tying in the Hulk because they're Thunderbolts because of Thunderbolt Ross. Mm-hmm. So that's an interesting way to circle back to the very first movie. And let's talk about Sharon Carter's fight scene.
Ooh.
Come on. Oh my God. Like just ducking and diving in the shipyard. Oh.
I mean, she has she's just a agent, right? Like she's an ex-SHIELD agent. That's just fighting skills, right? No enhancement or anything.
That's what we're to think at this point, but we shouldn't, we don't know, right?
No, so they are giving her skills akin to Black Widow or Hawkeye as far as hand-to-hand combat skills. She's up there in that echelon of heroes, and good because she, another strong female character.
Just the fact that all of a sudden Wakanda is involved in this.
It had to be, though. It had to be.
But dude, there's so much that they put into that episode that would almost seem irresponsible to try to make it too layered. But it fit right in. It fit right in perfect because nothing is heavy-handed, nothing's overt. So a lot of subtleties and just that, and then they expound on it in the next episode. No need to do anything more than let you know that they are present. That's it. For just enough. Great writing.
Yeah, no, I thought that the Hansel and Gretel breadcrumb. The Hansel and Gretel breadcrumb following was really well done, and as soon as you get that shot, you're just like, oh, y'all fucked up. And I think that it hit on another level because it's the first real live action Wakanda thing since Chadwick Boseman passed away. So it also just kind of made me be just our reality.
How do they handle that moving forward?
Exactly, because I don't think that they'll address it in this show. I think that's something that needs to be addressed in the movie itself. But
all right, hey, dense episode, guys. Very dense episode. A lot of Easter eggs spread throughout. Great character development. Great dialogue. I'm excited to talk about the next episode as well.
Sounds like you're throwing pots and pans around there. You're so excited. I agree. Man, I think I watched this episode 4 times. It was a lot of fun. A lot of layered stuff, man. Watching more than once. Listen to us and go watch it again. You'll find something new.
Sweet.
Boba Fresh out of San Francisco. Hope you enjoyed this. Spoilers behind.